Ayos, sa ating laro sa may San Juan Arena, ang game track natin doon, first 10 minutes, 20 minutes rather, yan ang mga numero.
Well, San Beda's having a slow start in the first period, and in the second period, bumawi sila, but overall they have 26% on the field goals, and the Blazers with 35. Meanwhile, the rebound department, 13 offensive for the Blazers and 13 only for the San Beda Red Lions, courtesy of Ola.
Yun, eh, no?
Yeah, and then turnovers, of course, which is hurting the Blazers with 17, and you'll have 10 turnovers for San Beda.
And most of the turnovers ng St. Benilde Blazers, second quarter, sabi mo. Doon nag-umpisa yun, eh, no? Yung kanilang mababang quarter.
Well, San Beda really relied on their defense, the defense that has won them 4 straight championships. So, and they only scored, the last field goal was 9 minutes, I think, by Onteco.
Yes, that's right.
9 minutes. That's a long time, you know, not scoring.
5 points in a quarter is
bleeding,
not good. Not
absolutely
good.
Bleeding for their points. You know, St. Benilde here. But let's see if they can adjust in the second half.
Ngayon naman, alamin natin ang mga nasagap ni Mara noong halftime. Mara, what did you think from both teams?
Well, San Beda Red Lions, yung dugout nila kanina only lasted 2 minutes. Quite short actually. Nakaminado ang Red Lions na the first quarter is not their normal mighty self. Pero ang positive daw today is that they were able to limit their opponent to 5 points in the second quarter, katulad nga na sinabi nyo. Now this is a true mighty Red Lion. Coach asked na whoever is put in the court to step out, katulad ni David Semrad. Pinuri nga si David Semrad and everybody cheered for him. Dahil even though with little minutes, he showed himself putting a lot of effort out in the court. Now, they were up by 5 points, but they don't care about the 5 points. What they care about is the effort showed put in the second quarter. And they all agreed that they will not allow Benilde to beat them again. And Coach Fernandez shouted at the top of his lungs. He said, have confidence. This is your game to enjoy. Don and Chicky?
Kumusta naman ang sagot ng San Beda Red Lions when Coach Boyet shouted those words, Mara?
They all roared like the mighty, mighty Red Lion.
Maraming salamat, Mara Aquino, masipag naming courtside reporter. Meantime, Romero missing on that jumper, and slowly but surely, Don, napapansin ko parang tense na ngayon ng atake ng St. Benilde. Not the type of attack they had in the first quarter.
Well, they're feeling the pressure now that San Beda is up and they know they haven't scored since the 9-minute mark. They're feeling a lot of pressure. They're a little bit off their track. Meanwhile, here's Ola. Really, San Beda really going to Ola now. They're going to him really strong, and they need to find answers or try to stop Ola.
In fact, itong si Coach Gabby Velasco, medyo sumusugal na rito doon, bringing in Bartolo to start the third quarter in spite of him having 3 fouls. Romero going for a fishing expedition, and he caught a big fish in Art de la Cruz. So Romero will shoot 2, and they need this to stop the bleeding.
It's very difficult just scoring 5 points in the second quarter, you know, and then at the opposing team rallying to get the lead against you, and that's very hard. So let's see if they can score.
Sabi nga natin, San Beda 9 points first quarter, and then you were mentioning in the middle of the first quarter, wag mong questionin ang heart ng champions. Yun na nga, nung second quarter they returned the favor.
Of course, they're not champions for nothing.
Apat na sunod dyan.
Apat na sunod dyan. They had their team intact, they had their chemistry, and they play great defense. So yung ganun ang combination is very hard to stop. Even if you're down by 20, you cannot count San Beda Red Lions out of this ball game.
Turnover by San Beda. Turnover by Benilde. Kick out. De la Cruz will score. And that was a great pass coming from Abatayo. Kala ko titira na niya. Sabay pass back.
Oo. Buti lang nandun si De la Cruz.
Actually, napakiti siya, no?
Oo. Right place at the right time din yung salon niya,
32-23. Lamang ng Siyamang San Beda.
Things not going right now for Benilde, and everything is going great for San Beda.
Bacher. Art will score back-to-back baskets.
You know, Art able to score on that play, courtesy of Ola, who provided the way for him. He screened off the defender so that Art de la Cruz can have the free lane to the basket.
This is the biggest lead.
And that's just great chemistry. That's just great teamwork right there. You know, great teamwork on offense, great teamwork on defense.
And you mentioned that Ola Diogun doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and those type of things, hindi mo makikita yan sa stat sheet eh. You know, screening your man so that your teammate can get an open lane to the basket. Malaking bagay yun eh. Confidence booster din yun.
Meantime, si Baser, tinrabaho yon pero wala. Miss din itong follow-up ni Ola. Blazers, they have the ball. Taha going for the drive. And if Ola is inside the shaded area, maiiba ang tira mo.
That's what he provides. You know, he provides a lot of inside presence for his team. Eh, pag drive mo sa basket, makita mo si Ola, malamang papaisip ka, di ba? Change mo yung shot mo. Oh, tutuloy ko ba to o ipapasa ko?
Kailangan mo minsan ng mga Cardona, no? Shooting as Ola scores on that attempt. Pang-apat na ba yun? Sino bang biktima na
That's
rito?
foul on Teco, unfortunately, and that's his 4th personal foul.
So, Teco has 4 and Ola nagpapatuloy ang kanyang magandang laro dito po sa kanilang laban. Lamang pa rin dito ang San Beda, 36-23. We'll be right back.
It's the third quarter here in San Juan Arena. We are live on Action TV and TV5. Coach Gabby Velasco is like a drill sergeant preparing his team for World War. And the Blazers responded like trained soldiers. Now, they made an agreement that as soon as they come out of dugout, they will come in the court showing their mental toughness. Otherwise, it might cost them the game. Sabi nga nila, whether it's the third quarter or the fourth, ang mental preparation nila, ang bullet nila para sa San Beda. Now, alam nila na kung maglalaro sila ng bara-bara or kanya-kanya, it's gonna cost them the game. Matatalo talaga sila. Now, to avoid this, well, sabi nila, hindi sila magpapadala sa emotion. Pasensya ang kailangan nila ngayong second half. John and Chicky?
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Mara. Sabi ni Mara, mga masunuring sundalo lumabas. Ang problema, yung sinasabi ni Don nung first half, pag ang mga Leon, ang mga champion, ay bumalik na sa kanilang laro, iba ang kagat ng San Beda. Ito na, malalim eh, no?
Ito na, oh. So far here in the third quarter, San Beda has scored 11 points and the Blazers have only scored 2 points.
At yung 2 points na yan, partner,
Free
nanggaling
throws.
sa free throw ni Jonathan Gray. That's
Tama,
right.
tama.
Abatayo at the corner. He hits the three. Wow. So kahit sinong hugutin ni Coach Boyd ngayon, responding. Romero, kick out to Taha. Taha, long two. Wala. Mendoza for the rebound. Biggest lead for San Beda at 17.
San Beda really pulling away in the third quarter.
And away from play. Or away from the ball, rather. They'll call a foul. I think it's on Mark Romero. That's right.
Mark Romero is guarding Ola.
Sabi nga natin, Bartolo has 4 fouls. Or rather, Ongtenko has 4 fouls. Bartolo has 3. So napipilitan si Coach Gabby gamitin si Pons, Saavedra, Romero to play big against Ola. Baser for 3. It's good.
Great shot by Amer. The hammer, Baser. Really took his time on that three-point shot. And it's, you know, very important, like, to build confidence. Now, San Beda now, third quarter field goals is 7 for 9. Meanwhile, Benilde struggling, 0 for 7 on their field goals.
Wala pa. Johnson at the corner. Wala pang field goal. Ang St. Benilde Blazers. Napako sila sa 23. Meantime, De La Cruz. Pasa kay Ola. Nasipa ni Romero. So, the last field goal that they scored, partner, was in the 9-minute mark ng second quarter.
That's right.
After that,
they haven't scored on any field goals. They only scored on the 2 free throws.
at itong third quarter, 2 points pa lang.
Yeah, they only scored two free throws shot by Romero. Mark Romero.
Ito na, atake ng San Beda. Amer, another three. Won't go in. Good tap coming from Naive. Taha looking ahead. Taha, siya natatapos. Nasupalpal ni Abatayo. De la Cruz to Amer. Basel for another three.
San Beda, Red Lions, really pouring it in the third quarter. Raining threes.
23 big points. Yan po ang kalamangan dito ng San Beda. Taha inside. And he got a big fish in Ola Diogun.
That's a great pass by Saavedra to the cutting Taha. Able to see the lane. Hopefully he can get these 2 free throws in.
Hammer time for Basel. Same spot. Same result for Basel.
Hindi nagbago yung form, no? And that's when you have a big lead, it's a confidence booster. You know, the whole team feels good.
Yes.
And everything, pag bitaw mo lang sa bola, alam mo pasok na eh. Kasi you have a huge lead and you're confident. May nandyan yung rhythm nyo.
Eto, tama ka, no? I stand corrected. Yung unang 2 free throws ng CSB came from Mark Romero in the third quarter.
Yes.
And the next 2 free throws nanggaling naman kay Paulo Taha.
Paulo Taha, that's right. Now Taha has a huge task with him now. He is guarding Ola.
At matawagan ng foul si Travis Johnson. Tough assignment to guard the hammer.
Yeah.
But tougher for Paulo Taha. Sabi mo nga, binabantayan niya Ola Diogun. Ilang inches din yan doon.
Well, you know, basketball is a team sport and that's why you have a team defense, diba?
Kailangan tulungan nila si Paulo Taha.
Tulungan talaga ang basketball.
12 on the shot clock. Ganda ng pasa, hindi makakonvert ni De La Cruz.
Good gang rebounding there displayed by the Blazers.
At yan yung ginagawa nila since first half.
Yes.
Rebounding as a unit. Oh, it's a three for Romero. At
Romero.
kinakailangan niya ng Benilde. First field goal in the third quarter.
Oh, they really needed that.
46-28, 18 ang abante ng San Beda. 3:35 remaining, quarter 3. Abatayo at the corner finds the pot of gold.
It's raining threes today.
Sakto, umuulan din sa labas. Blackjack na po ang kalamangan dito ng San Beda. 21 points, 49-28. Johnson, wala. And again, Ola was responsible for altering that shot.
You know, he had to change his shot. If not, oh, there's some color going on here between Taha and Ola. I mean, these guys are good sportsmen, and you know they both recognize that it's part of the game.
And I think Ola knows na talagang pipisigalin siya ni Paulo Taha because of the height difference.
Yeah.
So Ola will shoot 2, and this is a good example of the unit that we're talking about. Sayang, di lang natin naipakita kanina, but the Blazers, in spite of a huge deficit, partner, nagkita pa sila sa gitna, nag-usap silang 5.
Oh, that's very important. Johnson, of course, he got his players, and also Taha and Saavedra and Romero. They all went together in a huddle, and they talked about it. I'm pretty sure they said, you know, let's stay together and let's work on bringing the lead down little by little.
Unti-untiin lang, 50-28, mga kaibigan, 22-point lead for the Red Lions. Pahinga muna si Ola Diogun. At Kyle Pascual ang pumalit sa kanya. So tingnan natin how St. Benilde will respond dito sa pagpapalit kay Ola. Romero, reverse, tumama sa ilalim ng board. Oras po natin under 3 minutes remaining in the third. Amer, ball fake inside, nasa palpal. But ball will stay with San Beda. May ceasefire po tayo. Lamang ng 22 ang San Beda. We'll be right back. Being challenged dito po sa kanilang laro. Kanina, terrific trio. Ngayon naman po, struggling trio. Gray, Taha, and Romero. the numbers are not that good today, partner.
Well, from the start they had a pretty good start for their team, but unfortunately today, Jonathan Gray, Paulo Taha, Marco Romero, they are struggling with 5, 2, and 5 points. You know, they're averaging 13 points a game, 15 points, and almost 16 points. But apparently today they're just struggling, and sometimes you have those type of days. But when you do have those type of days on offense, there's no reason why you can't bring it back on defense.
Yes.
Kailangan defense will never struggle. Defense will always be constant.
At yun yung sinabi mo kanina, di ba? It starts there.
Yes.
Your offense would more often than not feed off.
That's right.
Kung maganda depensa mo.
You will feed off of your defense. And your defense, you know, the momentum, you can carry it over sa offense mo.
Tama ba ako na walang bad games sa depensa?
Wala.
Di ba?
Walang bad game sa depensa.
Sa offense, pwede.
Oo. Paminsan-minsan nakakatira ng champa yung kalaban. Okay na yun.
Pero kailangan mong trabahuin.
Trabahuin mo talaga. Pressure. You know, and Benilde has to go back to what they were successful with in the first quarter. You know, they used their speed against the size of San Beda, and they were very successful with that from the start. But unfortunately, some of their big men picked up some fouls. You know, Bartolo has 3, Onteco has 4. You know, not too much anybody can hit guard Ola.
Ganda rin pagkakahimay mo. Yun na yun eh. So
Yeah.
far, in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Let's see, at least for St. Benilde, meron pa tayong 1 full quarter ahead of them. But that was a miss by Romero. De La Cruz running the break. No look to Mocon, and that's a turnover for San Beda. Immediately, De La Cruz apologizing to Coach Boyet. Babalik dito sa loob, Taha and Gray. Upo muna si Naive. Romero pinagpahinga din.
Well, if their trio can pick up the pace, you know, they would get back into this ball game. That's for sure. It's just a matter of time. We'll see if they can get back their rhythm and their confidence.
So this is the 5 of CSB. You have Johnson, Saavedra, Taha, Bartolo, and Gray. Not the tallest, pero may outside sniping yan. Johnson with a miss. Bartolo off the glass. It's good.
Banda pa yun. The bank shot.
Is open
The
on a
bank
Saturday.
is open. Pwede ka na mag-withdraw sa ATM.
1 minute remaining rather in the third. 20 pa rin ang abante ng San Beda.
Good pressure here by Johnson.
Mendoza. Abatayo. Another 3. Nakakatatlo na yan.
Really feeling hot with that 3-point shot. Abatayo.
Perfect pa daw from Rainbow Country. 3 out of 3.
Wow. And that's huge. You know, when you have a lead, that big of a lead, you know, siyempre booster din sa'yo yun eh. Oh, I can, even if I miss the shot, you know, I'm still confident eh. But if you have that big of a lead, talagang titira ako.
Off the pick, that was Abatayo. Brought to you by Smart. Jump it on All Access Pass of Awesomeness. Jump into Smart. At yung swagger nitong si Abatayo, kumpiyansa na. No? Hit 2 earlier from the right side. Pumunta sa may kaliwa. Ganun pa rin yung resulta.
Oh.
Hits the first of 2 free throws.
Iba talagang confidence ni Coach Boy Fernandez sa mga boys niya, no?
Sino man ang ihugutin from the bench?
Mag-produce para sa kanya.
Kanina nga, sabi ni Mara nung halftime report niya, di ba? Not too many minutes for David Semerad. Pero anong sabi ni Coach Boyet? Palakpakan.
Oh.
For the effort na binigay ni
Nakatulong
Semerad.
naman si David sa hustle niya.
Now, nothing to take away from the gentleman in green because they're working hard. Extra hard because
Yes.
Bartolo and Onteco are in foul trouble. Pero sabi mo nga, isang pangalan lang ang problema nila. Ola at Diogun. Laki.
Laki ni Ola ngayon eh. So, unfortunately, yung bigs ng Benilde, they're in foul trouble. So, yung nahihirapan sila ngayon medyo sa match-up. Now, what the Blazers have to do is go back to why they were successful in the first quarter. Meanwhile, here's Saavedra, the 3-point shot from the corner.
At matatapos dyan ang ating third quarter, mga kaibigan, with a 3 from Pons. Ang abante po rito ng San Beda Red Lions, 53-34. 30 minutes nakalipas. Nagparap ng defending champions. Pinangungunahan po yan ni Ola Diogon. Sumama sila Art de la Cruz. Sumundot pa si Basera Mer. Lahat ng Red Lions on track dito sa kanilang laro. Abante sila ng 19. May 10 minutes pa po tayo sa aming